Hello, my name's Ted. This is the Issues of Life. We have been talking about the Lord's Prayer, been kind of looking at that, breaking it down. We talked about several areas of that. The Lord's Prayer was a response to the disciples asking Jesus to teach them how to pray, to teach them how to communicate with God, how to connect and communicate with God the Father, because they observed that Jesus, the way that he talked to God, was different than the way that they had seen their spiritual leaders, their religious leaders in their time. And so uh, Jesus, his response to that was, when you pray, pray in this way. He didn't say repeat these words. He didn't say just repeat this over and over. And I don't think that if that was the case, if that was Jesus, what Jesus was doing, then they probably would not have needed to ask him to teach them how to pray. They would have just repeated the same words that Jesus did. So I, I believe that Jesus had a lot more profound wisdom in his answer that we can get out of that. And we've discussed several different things. He starts out saying, uh, our Father who art in heaven. That word Father meaning Daddy. Um, and so we've gone through that. We've gone through the kingdom, what that means. Give us this day our daily bread. We talked about that, and we left off towards the last part where he says. And forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. And I think this is huge. Forgiveness is so important. As a matter of fact, I really truly believe that it is impossible to have any type of relationship without forgiveness. And of course, I believe that God the Father and Jesus know this, because one of the main reasons why God the Father sent Jesus to be sacrificed and die on the cross was so that we could receive forgiveness of our sins forever, not just for one day, not for the sins that the mistakes and the flaws that we had occasionally, but those yesterday, today, forever. Okay, eliminating the the mistakes out of our life. And so forgiveness is so, so huge. And so he says to pray, when we're praying, that we actually say, forgive us our sins, forgive us for all the mistakes that we made. Why is that important? The first part of that is asking God the Father to forgive us. In other words, recognizing, first of all, that we messed up and that we need forgiveness. Now, think about this in the context of any relationship that we might have. And think about that relationship and what would happen if we mess up totally mess up, totally just offend the other person, um, and you just feel awful. You feel uh, shame, you feel guilt. So much so that when you encounter that person, and it's, sometimes I've had it in my life where I've messed up so bad against somebody that I just wanted to crawl into a hole. I just never wanted to see the person again, never wanted to face them again. I was so embarrassed, so ashamed about what I did, whether it was by accident or whatever it was. But I felt so bad, so awkward that I never wanted to see the person again. And so that's what happens when we mess up. And so if there wasn't an element, if there wasn't a way to remove that, then that relationship would be destroyed forever. I would never be able to face that person again. And so that's why forgiveness is so important. And that's why God made it clear that He has provided forgiveness for every single thing that we've done. Now, there's some things that we do that maybe nobody else will ever know about. And so we might be able to slide by. But when we understand that God sees and knows everything about us, then these feelings of shame and guilt come on us for the mistakes that we make. And that causes us to, for that relationship with us and God to be awkward, it just creates an obstacle. So what he's saying is that we need to be able to understand his forgiveness and be able to receive it, because that's what removes those emotions, those feelings, those obstacles from us, from between us, so that relationship is totally and completely restored, and we now have that freedom restored to come and connect intimately in that relationship. And that's why it's so important to forgive us our sins, and basically as a reminder that, first of all, that we do make mistakes, that we're not perfect. And also that God, in his awesome love, grace, and mercy, through Jesus Christ and his sacrifice, has forgiven us totally and completely. We'll continue in our next session of the Issues of Life.